We go overseas now to Libya, where today our team on the ground in Tripoli had a close one. They were in an encounter that gave them the unmistakable feeling that the mood there might be turning more toxic, especially toward the news media. The event they were there to cover was a pro-Gaddafi rally. Our correspondent Stephanie Gosk was there with our camera crew. She's with us from Tripoli tonight to tell the story. Stephanie, good evening.
Good evening, Brian. Well, we got caught in the middle of an angry mob 4 months to the day since the uprising began here in Libya. They were furious at NATO and furious at the foreign media, who they blame for spreading lies. It took armed Libyan intelligence officers to get us out safely. Thousands gathered in the capital's Green Square to clap, chant, and shoot their guns for their embattled leader. Gaddafi responded with a phone call. Sounding combative and slightly hoarse, he said NATO will be defeated. They will pull out. He even challenged the alliance to keep bombing. The audio broadcast by state TV was blasted on speakers throughout the square, where there was also plenty of anger. This is not exactly the most welcoming of crowds. They are definitely pro-Gaddafi, anti-NATO, and as far as the media is concerned, they're liars. Gaddafi supporters believe the foreign media is largely responsible for the civil war.
They say that the government are bombing the people over here. This is the first lie. This is the biggest one.
Life in Tripoli is only getting harder. NATO has intensified its bombing campaign. Explosions echo throughout the city daily. There's also a shortage of gas. Lines stretch for miles. People wait for days to fill their tanks. 18-year-old Ismail spent her day off from school waiting to fill the family car. We want a good relationship with Europe, she says, but what do they want? To colonize Libya? That's what we often hear in Tripoli, that the West is after Libya's oil. And the protesters today had a message. Moments after filming this man, our government minders escorted us out of the square, away from an increasingly hostile crowd. Soon after that moment, Brian, we turned our camera off. We were trying to get out quickly, but the situation got out of control and we were surrounded.
And Stephanie, I wanted to ask you more about this because we around here know you as someone who doesn't scare easily. You're no stranger to tight spots and shots fired and incoming rockets and bombings and all of that. So how bad did it get and how close was it?
Well, mobs can turn really quickly, Brian, and that's what happened. We were surrounded at first by a small group, but the angrier they got, the larger the group became. And once they surrounded us, we really had very little control. But soon after that, moments after that, a car pulled up with Libyan intelligence officers. Behind them, a number of military officers. They pushed us into their car and were able to get us out safely. We were very glad to see them, Brian.
All right, Stephanie Gosk back in the relative safety of the compound in Tripoli tonight. Stephanie, thank you for your reporting on that story today.